Embrace me, my sweet, embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grows tipsy in me. Oh, you and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be naughty, baby. Come to Papa, do. My sweet, embraceable. Say-de-de-de-de, say-de-de-de-de, say-de-de-de-de. Say-de-de-dum-de-de-dum-be-de-de-de-de-de-de-de-de-de. Je-re-be-bom-bom-be-la-de, so-be-de. Say-le-de-dum-le-de-dum-le-de-dum, so-be-de. Se-re-bom-bom-bom-be-de-de-de-de-de. Say-le-ah, say-le-ah, say-le-de, so-de. Se-de-bom-bom-be-lo, say-le-de. C'est l'obo, c'est l'obo, c'est l'obo, c'est l'obo, c'est l'obo, et no day. C'est l'obo, c'est l'obo, c'est les bello, 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 c'est no bello, c'est les, so that the baby, left to do. My sweet embraceable.
Your formal welcome to the medical profession. For though you are just beginning the lifelong study of medicine, you've already been admitted not just to our school, but to the profession of medicine. Each of you will be critically important to your patients and to your communities.
I take this oath with great reverence as I embark on my lifelong journey as a physician. I am privileged to be a member of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas School of Medicine inaugural class and commit myself to the medical profession before those who have supported me and made this moment possible. Today, the students in the class of 2022 will receive their first white coat.
This coat is a symbol of their entry into the profession of medicine.
It's an accumulation of many years of hard work and preparation and stuff to come right here, get our white coat, and begin our medical training.
I am very excited. I was crying on my way here. I'm going to be holding back tears throughout the entire ceremony.
Today, you're taking the first step on a long, exciting, sometimes sleep-deprived journey, but it's a worthwhile one.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event for each of those students and for all of their families, and for us as faculty to have them to celebrate.
With this coat, you, our medical students, are connected to all of us in the profession of medicine. You're also granted a connection to patients and access to patients through this coat. We know that when you wear it, you will remember to act with compassion and kindness.
It's a very huge moment because my father and my mother dreamt, me going to medical school, and this has also been my ambition.
You know, in a real race, they give you a bib to identify you as a runner. Think of your short white coat as your bib to identify you as a medical student until you cross the finish line to become a physician and are awarded with the long white coat.
As I commit myself to uphold the values and traditions of medicine, I offer this oath to those I will serve and those I will serve alongside. I will afford everyone the respect and dignity owed a human life.
Putting on the jacket and taking the oath means that you have finally done what it takes to get to this spot, and that you're going to embark on a new journey that's going to be so hard but so rewarding at the same time.
I'm so proud and excited to be part of the ceremony and to welcome this class into the profession of medicine as they receive their first white coat. So congratulations, class 2022.
It's the class of 2023's white coat ceremony. It's a really big deal for all of us.
What the white coat means is that their students are now entering a profession of medicine.
It's a kind of a big deal where we have a lot of responsibility to take forth, and now we're going to be doctors. It's kind of crazy.
The fact that it is happening and is not a dream anymore, it's surreal for me, honestly.
This is such an exciting day. It's hard to believe that it is the third class, but here it is.
Class of 2023, you're on the stage today, about to join the ranks of our classes. But as time goes by, you will quickly find yourself in the day when we are celebrating your graduation and conferring your medical degrees.
A lot of people see these white coats that you're here to accept today, and they see them as representing long hours, endless days, endless years in school. I believe that all of our students are here because we see that the white coat represents this chance to work, to push, to give of ourselves so that our efforts might benefit others.
The minute you put on that white coat, you have taken on the mantle of leadership. You don't have years to prepare for this. Your white coat is on you now.
Today is a celebration of your hard work and recognition of the support of your families and friends that helped you succeed in arriving on this stage.
Just having one day where our family and friends come out and see us and not say we're the center of attention, but just us in our white coat. They see our hard work paying off for once. It's materialized into this white coat.
So I'm going to invite the class now to stand and to take the oath with me.
We all wrote the oath together as a class, so there are a lot of different pieces that we all thought were important in it.
I'm honored to offer this oath upon the inception of my medical career. I fully recognize the moral responsibilities of my chosen profession.
It was really fun to collaborate with our classmates, and we really actually got to pin down what each of us believes being a doctor is and what it entitles.
I affirm this declaration and pledge to faithfully uphold these values.
It's been a long journey for me, finding myself and finding what I wanted to do. So this kind of first real step into being a physician, it means the world to me. This has been a lifetime coming.
To the students and their families, we could not be prouder of this transformative moment in your lives. Congratulations to you all. Thank you for picking UNLV.
I'm Dr. Mark Kahn. I'm the Dean of the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine and Vice President for Health Affairs at UNLV. And I'd like to just congratulate the class of 2024 for this accomplishment. A white coat has been the symbol of medicine for a very long time. Now, traditionally, like many schools at UNLV, Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine, we awarded white coats when students started medical school. But as we thought about it, it really makes more sense to give you a white coat before you start the clinical part of your medical experience. Again, becoming a hospital clerk is really an important life step in becoming a doctor. I want to congratulate the class of 2024. I want to wish you luck, and the secret to good patient care is caring for the patient. Do a great job. Congratulations.
If you ever plan to move to west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Oh, get your kicks on Route 66. Oh, now you're going through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingsman, Georgia, Sands, Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this tiny tip when you make that California trip? Oh, get your kicks on Route 66. Come on, yay! That's right, make some noise. Oh, yeah! If you ever plan to move to west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles on the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Say, now you're going through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City. It's mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingsman, Georgia, Sands, Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this style of tea? When you make that California trip, say, get your kicks on Route 66. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Robert Hernandez, the Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions at the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine, and it is my honor to open the 4th White Coat Ceremony. Please rise for our national anthem, led by the UNLV Jazz Ensemble and vocalist Gary Fowler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everyone, please be seated. So welcome all. It's my great pleasure to welcome you, the class of 2024, families and friends, and esteemed faculty to this 4th Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine White Coat Ceremony. This ceremony has been a long time coming, right, class? The first 3 White Coat ceremonies at the School of Medicine were held during each class's first semester of medical school, but things changed. A little pandemic happened, and that kind of pushed things back a bit. A discussion was actually held during the pandemic about having a ceremony, more private, more closed, but the class voted for us to wait until they could celebrate it with community, with family and friends, and for all to celebrate in this important milestone. I think holding the White Coat ceremony now makes a lot of sense. Student doctors, it's now time to reflect and celebrate your accomplishments over the past 2 years. Your hard work and dedication has paid off. You've prepared yourselves well for the next stage of your professional development. It's also a time for you to remember the sacred calling that brought you here, to this place and this time, and to rededicate yourself to the highest ethical and moral principles of this noble profession. We, your teachers, look forward to working with you as you continue forward in this amazing journey. So, I would now like to introduce a good friend, the Dean of the School of Medicine, Dr. Mark Kahn, who serves not only as Dean, but also as Vice President of Health Affairs for UNLV. Dean Kahn is a distinguished physician, scientist, scholar, educator, and leader, and now I'll embarrass him with all these comments. He completed all of his training at the University of Pennsylvania, all of it. He graduated summa cum laude with a BA in honors chemistry. He was inducted into Alpha Omega Alpha in medical school. He completed his internship and residency, as well as a chief residency in internal medicine at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. Finally, he completed his fellowship training in hematology oncology, guess where? At Penn. In 1994, Dean Kahn and I crossed paths very briefly. I was exiting my internal medicine residency as he was coming on board as the program director for internal medicine at Tulane. And over time, he took on numerous leadership roles at Tulane, including the best role, which was Senior Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions. He was much beloved by his students and earned numerous teaching awards. He's also held numerous leadership positions at the national level. He's authored over 100 peer-reviewed manuscripts, in addition to 110 book chapters and 5 textbooks. In 2019, he became one of only few physicians not trained in the United Kingdom to be elected as a fellow to the Royal College of Physicians of London, the oldest medical college in England. Dean Kahn joined UNLV in 2020 as Dean of the Kerkorian School of Medicine at UNLV and Vice President for Health Affairs. Please join me in welcoming Dean Mark Kahn.
What a kind introduction. I wish my mother were here. She probably would have added some things, though, Bob, just for the record. Boy, what a great day. What a great Friday afternoon, right? The weather's getting warmer, days are getting longer, and we are about to let the latest group of medical trainees into the clinics to do what they're going to do best, and that's to care for our community. What a great day. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm also going to go a little rogue here and ask the students to stand, and why don't you recognize all the people that got you to this point in your lives? So stand up and clap for them. Let's do it backwards. Thanks. So as Dr. Hernandez said, I'm rather new here. This is my first white coat because of the pandemic, but what a great day it is. I just want to say a couple words. The first word I think that's important is the white coat has been associated with the medical profession for a very long time. And traditionally, medical students wear short coats, and once you graduate, you wear a long coat, unless you're at Harvard and they do it the other way around. But different story, right? But what I want you to know, and what is really important, is wearing a white coat does not assert privilege, but rather responsibility. Once you wear a white coat, people are going to assume that you know things, that hopefully you do, but maybe that you don't. They're going to assume a certain amount of professionalism, and they're going to assume a certain amount of compassion. So wear your coats wisely, consider it a privilege, and do so to take the best care of your patients. The other thing I just want to say is you're about to enter the clinical rotations that was said to me is the secret of good patient care is to care for the patient. Learn about your patients. Learn about their lives. Learn who they are. Learn about their diseases. And consider them people and individuals. And with that, I wish the class of 2024 Godspeed. Thank you. You know, we rehearsed this and I almost messed it up. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues and special guests seated on stage. I ask each of them to raise their hands as their names are called, but let's hold our applause until everyone has been introduced. Dr. Robert Hernandez is the Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions. He's today's Master of Ceremonies and someone who I've known for a very long time. Dr. Keith Whitfield, President of UNLV, and he will say a few remarks in a bit, but let's welcome Dr. Whitfield. Dr. Mark DeBrava, former chair of the Board of Regents, now member of the Board of Regents for the Nevada System of Higher Education. Regent Carl Del Carlo from the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education. Regent Laura Perkins from the Board of Regents. Dr. Neil Haycox, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs and Education and today's Grand Marshal. Dr. Johan Bester, Assistant Dean for Biomedical Sciences. Mr. Vishwash Ravi Kumar, President of the Class of 2023 and today's student speaker. Dr. Allison Netsky, Vice Dean for Clinical Affairs and Chairman, Department of Psychiatry. Ms. Joanne Strobe, Executive Associate Dean for Administration and Finance and President and CEO of the Practice Plan. And Dr. Kate Martin, Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education. Let's give a round of applause to these leaders. I'd like to also recognize friends of UNLV and the School of Medicine who are attending today's ceremony. Firstly, there are many donors who have kindly and graciously contributed to the ceremony. Their names are in the program book, and we'd like to recognize and thank each and every one of them. We have City Council members here. Mr. Brian Knudsen from Ward 1. Mr. Knudsen has been a real supporter and fan for the School of Medicine, and for that, we really thank him. We're also joined today by deans of other colleges at UNLV and senior university leaders. I want to recognize Dean Angela Amar, School of Nursing, Ms. Jean Vach, Senior Vice President for Business Affairs, and Dean Andrew Hansen from the Honors College. And I left off the list. It's my fault. The Provost and Executive Vice President. Thank you, Chris. Sorry about that. Let's have a round of applause for all these individuals. For the next set of introductions, I'd ask each to stand and be recognized. These are Clerkship Directors who will be coding our students in today's ceremony. Dr. Aaron Rogers, from Family Medicine, Dr. Bradley Berger, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. John Files, Chair, Department of Surgery, Dr. Mason Jonke, Psychiatry, Dr. Myra Jones Betancourt, Pediatrics, Dr. Nazia Khan, Internal Medicine, and Dr. Gary Chen, Assistant Dean for Clinical Education. I'd now like to clap. I'd now like to recognize the department chairs at the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine. Dr. Buddha Dawn from Internal Medicine, Dr. Evelyn Montalvo Stanton, Pediatrics, Dr. Alyssa Palmer, Family Medicine, Dr. Nadia Gomez, Obstetrics and Gynecology. There are also faculty of the medical school that have joined us today. I want to thank each of you for your attendance and your support of our medical students. Let's clap. It's now my honor and privilege to welcome to the podium the Regent Speaker for our event today, Dr. Mark Dubrava. Dr. Dubrava was first elected to the Board of Regents in 2010. He brings a unique perspective to the board, most importantly his own experiences as a student in the education system in Nevada. He graduated from Clark High School, then attended UNLV, and went on to his MD training at the University of Nevada School of Medicine in Reno. He's an accomplished ophthalmologist, training at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, and then the Louisiana State University Eye Center, followed by a fellowship in New Orleans. And we actually were at New Orleans at the same time, and probably were at the same Mardi Gras parade, but that's for another time and place. Mark, after leaving New Orleans, Mark returned to Las Vegas, his hometown, to start practice. Dr. Dubrava has been a consistent supporter of medical education in Nevada, and has worked for many years to help make the School of Medicine at UNLV a reality. He tells a story that, when he was growing up, coming along, he said, why isn't there a medical school here in Las Vegas? And Mark really helped to make that happen. He's been the honored speaker at this event since our inaugural White Coat ceremony, and I'm happy that he joins us again today to welcome students to their clinical training. I invite Dr. Dubrava to the podium to welcome and congratulate students on behalf of the Board of Regents. Regent Dubrava.
Thank you, Dean Kahn. I'm honored to be here today representing the Nevada System of Higher Education and the Board of Regents. I and my fellow regents, including those that are on the stage with us here today, offer the congratulations to the students of the class of 2024. As a graduate of UNLV and a physician, I am especially honored to welcome each of you to medical school and to the profession of medicine. Each of you will be the future of medicine and healthcare. Your faculty are working to prepare you for that future, and it is our goal for you to choose Nevada for your medical career. Each of you has chosen to stay or return for your medical education. We want to keep our best and brightest in the state, and that was a major goal when we created the medical school here at UNLV. Today is a celebration of your hard work and recognition of the support of your families and friends to help you succeed in arriving on this stage. It is exciting to see so many bright and compassionate students committed to caring for patients. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I extend my congratulations. The entire board wishes you success and looks forward to watching your progress and achievements in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent DeBrava. I'm now honored to introduce the president of UNLV, Dr. Keith Whitfield. Dr. Keith Whitfield became the leader at UNLV in August of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. Prior to becoming president of the university, Dr. Whitfield served as a provost, senior vice president for academic affairs, and professor of psychology at Wayne State University in Michigan. He's been a very active researcher, authoring or co-authoring over 200 publications and earning nearly $20 million in funding from the National Institutes of Health, National Institute of Aging, and the National Science Foundation. Dr. Whitfield earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from the College of Santa Fe and his PhD from Texas Tech. He then completed postdoctoral training in quantitative genetics at the University of Colorado, Boulder. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Keith Whitfield. Dr. Whitfield.
Well, good afternoon. This is a participatory thing. Good afternoon. That's the excitement that I know you have for these folks, because it's the same excitement that we have for them. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to this important and deeply meaningful ceremony. It's an honor to witness the symbolism of this day as you affirm your commitment to the medical profession while you train at the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine at UNLV, class of 2024. We are particularly grateful for the opportunity to reintroduce this ceremony into the journey of our medical students, given that we were not able to do so in neither 2020 or 2021 because of the COVID-19 crisis. I have to tell you guys, I really do stand in awe of what you're doing. I think that there's a lot of us in academia that maybe did a little bit of bio stuff that wishes we could be medical students. Just a little bit, not too much. But today is your day. And given how you began your medical path here, when the horrific pandemic began spreading across this country, across the world, the medical profession was put into a severe test of dedication during this time, as hospitals and emergency rooms were often overwhelmed with patients, a portion of whom even questioned medical advice. Some doctors and nurses and other medical providers even left the profession because of it. It would have been easy, even understandable, had you been discouraged or rethought your career path because of it. But you are all here. Members of our first graduating class and other students even contributed their time and knowledge during the worst of the pandemic by helping out hospitals and clinics. That history, that legacy falls on you as well. All of that tells me that you are dedicated to both the education and ideals of our medical school and will carry them forward into our community and communities throughout our nation, throughout the globe. You have earned the right to don these white coats as declarations that you will be medical providers par excellence. In doing so, you will reflect the heart and soul of UNLV and our history of service. As medical providers, you will be future leaders, putting the care of others as centerpiece of your lives, using not only the knowledge that you've gained here, but the empathy for others. And please, please remember that piece of empathy. If there was ever a time that we needed empathy from medical professionals, it's now. If there was ever a time we needed empathy amongst our community, it's now. Through empathy, that's how you're going to make the world better. As you now move forward into your clinical duties, that phase of your education at the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine at UNLV, wear these white coats with the same enormous sense of pride that we have in seeing you put them on for the first time. Again, thank you for inviting me here today, and congratulations.
It's a tradition of the white coat ceremony for the student speaker to be selected by medical students currently on clinical rotations. This year, the students bestowed this honor upon Mr. Vishwash Ravi Kumar, the president of the class of 2023. Vishwash has served as class president since his first year of medical school. All who have worked with Vish know him to be a caring and capable leader. He is a dedicated student of medicine. In addition to his vital role as class president, Vish has served on the Student Government Executive Council, the School of Medicine Research Strategic Planning Committee, and the Accreditation Committee. He has co-authored 3 papers and 4 abstracts and received second place recognition for Best Podium Presentation at our annual research symposium. Since April 2021, Vish has performed COVID screening at UNLV Family and Pediatrics clinics. His classmates describe Vish as hardworking, open to suggestions, and an advocate for his peers. And I have found him to be that way as well. I'm also told Vish is a huge Spider-Man fan who has taken to heart Uncle Ben's famous saying, "With great power comes great responsibility." Throughout his matriculation, Vish has consistently role modeled our professional standards and has earned the respect and admiration of his peers, the faculty, and the staff. Prior to joining the School of Medicine, Vish graduated from Vanderbilt University with a Bachelor of Arts in Molecular and Cellular Biology. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you today's white coat ceremony student speaker, Mr. Vishwash Ravi Kumar.
Hello, everyone. What a special day today is. Making it onto the stage today means a great deal. And first and foremost, I hope you all feel proud for reaching this milestone in your career. Not only are you halfway through your medical school education, you are about to transition into the world of real medicine, out of the classroom and into the clinic. I think it apt to reflect on what you all went through to get here. The path to getting to this day has been a long one and different from what many med students, including myself, went through. This ceremony often occurs at the beginning of med school to mark your entry into this world as a whole. Of course, circumstances were quite different at that time for each of you. As if starting school wasn't hard enough with all the tests, studying, PBL sessions, and different activities you had to balance, you had a history-making pandemic thrown on top of everything else and had to start virtually. If that sounds like a fun time to anyone in the audience here, I can assure you it was not. Working from home for a job, you might save yourself from a commute, a little too much face time with certain coworkers, still cash in a check at the end of the day. Working from home for med school, on the other hand, means hours and hours of studying in front of a screen for test after test after test that each could give a med student run for their money, pandemic or not. And of course, building friendships at the start of school is much harder when you have to do everything over Zoom or plan everything in advance carefully. Even if it was the right thing to do at the time, it was certainly not an easy time at all. And yet, you all made it here today. You all persevered. You found the friendships and the bonds that are so essential to making it through this experience. And by completing your preclinical education, you've shown that you all have the baseline knowledge to be a doctor. You met what was expected of you despite what stood in your way, and for that, you all deserve applause. Now, what lies ahead is your entry into the clinical world, where you will don your white coats and learn firsthand what it truly means to be a physician, where knowledge is still important, but communicating and applying your emotional intelligence, working as an effective team member, becomes essential. You will be privy to moments in people's lives that few others will ever see. something that is deeply humbling and rewarding all the same. It is a dream you have long worked for, finally coming into fruition. It is a challenge of its own, but it's one I'm sure you will all be able to meet and exceed. As the adage goes, tough times make for tough people. Continue to lean on each other, support one another, push each other to thrive through the highs and lows that will naturally come to pass. And I think I speak on behalf of all of the upperclassmen in saying, reach out to us anytime you need guidance. We love to give unsolicited advice, as I'm sure you're all aware by now. And we've got your backs, just like you guys had our backs during that water drive last year. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2024. As you wear your white coats, I hope you will feel proud of all that you've accomplished so far and look forward to the path that lies ahead in earnest, remembering what brought you to medicine in the first place. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Dr. Neil Haycox to the podium to share the significance of the white coat to medicine and to our students. Dr. Haycox serves as the Vice Dean of Academic Affairs and Education. He is one of our founding leaders for the School of Medicine and continues to guide the curriculum and the academic mission of the school. He has been an important part of these white coat ceremonies since the founding of the School of Medicine, and I am honored to serve with him. Dr. Haycox?
The period when the white coat became a symbol of medicine is bookended by two works by renowned American artist Thomas Eakins. The first, produced in 1875, is an oil painting titled The Gross Clinic. It depicts famed academic trauma surgeon Dr. Samuel Gross, then 70 years old, lecturing Jefferson Medical College students while his assistants surgically treat a young man for osteomyelitis of the femur. Everyone in attendance is dressed in black, which was typical medical attire of that time. Medical encounters of the era were considered formal and serious interactions between physician and patient. In part, this reflected the limited capabilities of the medical field, with these often solemn occasions associated with impending death rather than healing. To this day, black is still considered formal, the de facto color for tuxedos and funerals. The second Eakins work, also in oil, is the Agnew Clinic. It was commissioned by the University of Pennsylvania medical class of 1889 to honor famed surgeon and anatomist Dr. David Hayes Agnew upon his retirement. Like Dr. Gross before him, Dr. Agnew stands in a medical amphitheater lecturing medical students while his assistants undertake an operation, this time a mastectomy. The attire, however, is different, with Dr. Agnew wearing a white smock, his assistants likewise dressed in white, and the patient covered by a white sheet. The contrast between these two paintings indicates that in a relatively brief span, the color of medicine had gone from one extreme to the other. The explanation for this dramatic change resides in a British surgeon named Joseph Lister. In the late 1800s, Dr. Lister was a professor of surgery at the University of Glasgow and became intrigued by the published work of Louis Pasteur, who was making early advancements in the field of microbiology. Pasteur had succeeded in convincing most of Europe of the correctness of germ theory, and Dr. Lister began searching for methods to apply germ theory to surgical practice. He eventually began applying phenol to surgical instruments and wounds and documented a dramatic decrease in the incidence of post-surgical infections. The implementation of antisepsis contributed to the transition of medicine to a science-based discipline. Cleanliness became a core tenet of medical practice, reflected in the pure white attire now inextricably linked with the profession. So that's the professorial piece. To the new class of students, before you officially don your white coats, I ask you to take a moment to examine and appreciate them. Yes, go ahead and look at them. Because this is quite literally the cleanest they will ever be. I want you to take a mental snapshot. It will provide an interesting contrast to what they will accumulate by the end of third year. Crumbs from hastily eaten snacks, stains from hastily consumed drinks, pen and pencil marks from hastily scribbled notes, and evidence of encounters with various bodily substances that I will not describe in detail. I want you each to remember that going forward, bleach is your friend. Thank you.
Well, class of 2024, we've arrived at the highlight of today's event. You will now be coded by the clinical faculty and welcomed to your clinical training. I invite our faculty coders to move into their positions on stage. Dean Kahn and President Whitfield, I invite you to come to the right side of the stage to greet the students as well. And would students in row 1 please stand? The first group of students will be coded by Dr. Aaron Rogers. Dr. Rogers. Ready? First student is Jovan Alvarez. Sean Anderson. Daniel Einlander. Brandon Barrett. Bita Bashi. Rhett Boss. Fadel Bumelham. John Brackett. Lena Chan. And Selika Cosme. Our next group of students will be coded by Dr. Bradley Berger. Ready? Yeah. Andrew Cruz. The shoes are great. Marielos de Agostino. Congratulations. Skylar Davidson. Nicole DeAngeli. Matthew Dietz. Jordan Dolan. Danielle Eames. Sophia Giorgi. Congratulations. Pedro Gonzalez Jr. Cameron Harris. Thank you, Dr. Berger. Our next group of students will be coded by Dr. John Files. Kim In-seong. Katerina Jaworski. Arbab Khalid. Shireen Kambijian. Cynthia Lee. Genesis Leon. Daniel Lyde. Ryland McDermott. Nader Marangani. Thank you, Dr. Files. Our next group of students will be coded by Dr. Mason Jonke. Joshua Melanson. You have some fans, Joshua. Oscar Menterosa. Marvi Moreno. Samantha Mujica. Keith Norda. Kevin Norda. Diana Nuri. Daniel Otua. Alyssa Panning. And Deepo Patel. Thank you, Dr. Janke. Our next group of students will be coded by Dr. Mayra Jones Betancourt. Michael Patros. Mario Premyanov. Ryan Ricci. Mark Ringer. Kavion Sadro Lashrafi. Douglas Sakes. Melanie Shackleford. Kajal Shrestha. Blake Seek. And Sean Slattery. Thank you, Dr. James Bittencourt. Our final group of students will be coded by Dr. Nazia Khan. Danielle Struck. Kirat Sultan. Andrea T. Shelby Thomas. Jacob Villarama. Riley Wagner. And Christopher Williams, Jr. Is that it? It was Italian. Very Italian. Everyone, let's please give the class of 2024 a round of applause. Students, I would now invite you to please stand. I would like to ask Dr. Johan Bester, Assistant Dean for Biomedical Sciences, to come forward and lead the students in taking the Physician's Pledge.
New colleagues, we ask that you stand and take this pledge with us as you commit yourself to the values that is central to the practice of medicine. Now, you can find this in your program and follow along. It's like towards the back there, and I strongly recommend you do the same. So I'm going to do it line by line, and you repeat after me. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical professions. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Please join us afterwards for a reception in the lobby and on the patio. I now bring this ceremony to a close. Please stand for the recessional.
Red light city, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that is ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting up there. They're all living devil may care. I'm just a devil with love to share. Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas. How I wish that there were more than 24 hours in a day. 'Cause even if there were 40 more, I wouldn't sleep a minute away. Oh, there's blackjack and poker at every blue, a fortune and lost on every deal. All you need is hung hearts and holes of steel. Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas. Say Viva Las Vegas with your neon flashing and your one-arm bandit crashing. All those hopes down the drain. Hey! Las Vegas turning day into nighttime, turning night into daytime. If you see it once, you'll never be the same again. Hey, Viva. Oh, Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas, Viva